Happy Tuesday, television family. We have gathered once again on this, the last day of autumn. It's still fall. It's cold. It's 7 degrees, and if it gets cold now, wait till you get to early Thursday morning. Cold, 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 cold. This is, by the way, the shortest day of the year. Now, the winter solstice is tomorrow during the noon hour, but actually today is the shortest day of the year. Sunrise 7:45. Sunset tonight, 4:12. Tomorrow, sunrise, 7:45. Sunset, 4:13. So, a little bit longer on the winter solstice. The big story, as you might imagine, the bitterly cold temperatures that are heading our way. Did the research. Thank goodness the National Weather Service has a very user-friendly website. You can go back and look and compare and point and click and do all this, that, and the other thing. And with our expected overnight low of -8, -8 is the forecast overnight low on Thursday morning, Wednesday night into Thursday. That would be the coldest temperature we have seen in the Wenatchee Valley in 14 years. Going to be cold. Details are coming up. Passes are a mess. I'm so glad I don't have to drive up there. Don't do it if you don't have to. Chains are required on Stevens. It's snowing to beat the band up there. Going to snow all day today. Going to measure the snow in feet, not inches. Traction tires are required on Blewett. Yeah, snowing. Chains required on Snoqualmie Pass. Snowing. Going to snow all day in the Cascades. It's winter. It's winter in a big, big way. Again, that all-important forecast is right around the corner. Plus, we'll have news. It was a busy day in the bullpen. It already is a busy day today. We'll get you full of the headlines that you need. A lot of basketball to be played. There's no school going on, but the high schools are playing these holiday tournaments. And we'll get you some scores from that. Good night for the Gonzaga ladies and the Wazoo ladies, too. We'll have some sports to touch on. And in case you missed it, a couple weeks ago, we did an interview that our very own Jefferson Robbins did with the new executive director of the Chelan Douglas Land Trust, one of the most important organizations in our valley. Eunice Yeomans is her name. She's really cool. I had a chance to meet her. I like her. She's doing a great job. And you'll get to know Eunice, by the way, in the back half of the program. 2 minutes after the hour, let's see what we have. With our Sky-Fi PTZ cameras up to the Wenatchee Heights we go. It just looks cold, doesn't it? Because it is cold. Right now, temperatures around the area, we're at 7 in downtown Wenatchee. Ellensburg is at 8. Omak is at 6. Yesterday at this time, Omak was at 3, so it's warmer there. Everybody is in single digits. We have a winter weather advisory. It started at 4 o'clock this morning, goes until 4 o'clock on Wednesday. We're going to get a couple of inches of snow, intermittent snow off and on here in the Wenatchee Valley. The east slopes of the Cascades are going to get more snow. Leavenworth could get 4 or 5 inches, even more in the Lake Wenatchee area. And again, significant snowfall in the Cascades. Camera 2. I don't know what we're looking at. I'm sorry, Uriah? Oh, that's the Omi Garden camera? Oh, okay. I trust you. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, you can see the Odabashan Bridge. You can see a little bit of the Stimmo Complex. That's the Omi Garden camera pointed back down towards the Wenatchee Valley. Basically, it's at the same elevation as the Heights camera. It's just pointing in the other direction, pointing from the north down to the south. Again, we're still a ways from sunrise. Camera 3. That looks to be number 1 Canyon to me. You can make out 5th Street, and you can make out the avenue and Chelan and a little bit of Mission from the far western edge of the Wenatchee Valley from our number 1 Canyon camera. And camera 4, we wrap up our tour. That looks, whoa, it's snowing up there. And I want to say maybe that's the Apple Annie's camera. That's Hay Canyon. Okay, well, good enough for me. Snowing up at the Hay Canyon camera, that's Cashmere that you see down there. It just now is switching from black and white to color. And just like that, it stopped snowing. How did that happen? Anyway, that's a beautiful view from the Hay Canyon camera looking, and there comes the snow again. It keeps switching from color to black and white. So it's obviously snowing lightly in the Cashmere area. I'm not very bright, but I do have a tremendous grasp of the obvious. As far as snow today, let's take a look at this graphic from the National Weather Service. This is for the rest of the day today. Spilling into Wednesday morning. Again, a couple of inches of snow in the Wenatchee Valley, probably at the max. As you can see, the farther west you go, the more snow you're going to get. A lot of snow on Stevens Pass, a lot of snow on Snoqualmie Pass, significant snow on Blewett Pass as well, not quite as bad as Stevens and Snoqualmie are going to get, but they're going to get quite a bit of snow. Intermittent snow as you move to the east, and then the Idaho Panhandle, going to get a lot of snow as well today. But the real story are these bone-chilling temperatures, and you factor in the wind chills. Take a look at that. This is Thursday morning as you get up and get going with expected wind chills in Wenatchee and Chelan right around minus 24, Moses Lake minus 29, Omak minus 34. It is going to be windier to the north of us. It doesn't show graphically there, but Waterville Plateau could see a wind chill factor minus 40 or more. You combine the bone-chilling Arctic, dry, cold air, bitterly cold air that has seeped down from British Columbia, and you combine that with some tighter gradients and a little bit of wind, and we're talking, it just cuts right through your clothes. And you don't have to, the skin does not have to be outside very long under these conditions before you start running into some considerable issues. Not going to be quite as windy in the Wenatchee Valley. So anyway, from the National Weather Service and our friends at Apple Valley Honda, cold. 16 our forecast high today. Now yesterday we got to 14 degrees and our low was 3, and we've already gotten that low again already today with an overnight low of 3. Look at Wednesday. We're going to see some clouds. It's going to be very cold. We'll be lucky to get to double digits, and that's it for the high on Wednesday. And then early Thursday morning, overnight Wednesday night into Thursday, minus 8. Minus 8. You factor in the wind chills, and you're talking close to minus 20 degrees Wednesday with the wind chill factor, just pure temperature-wise, minus 8. And if we get there, that would be the coldest temperature we've seen here in 14 years. And it ain't going to get much better. Only 5 degrees for the afternoon high on Thursday. Jump ahead to the weekend. Christmas Eve proper on Saturday night. Not bad at all. A little bit of light snow to put you in the Christmas spirit. Santa will get through that okay. He's got Rudolph after all. Christmas Day, Sunday, we start warming up. And yeah, can you believe that? Near 40 degrees with a rain-snow mix. On Monday, boy, you talk about the roller coaster. From minus 8 for the overnight low Wednesday night to an afternoon high of 40 next Monday. Yeah, that's your forecast. It's 8 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break, and then we'll have your news for you. You watch you Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
With all the variety on SureStream TV from LocalTel, there's always something to watch. But what if you hit the couch in the middle of all the shows? That's a perfect time to use the features Catch Up or Restart. Catch up on shows from up to 3 days ago, or restart your show from the beginning. Go to your guide and select the show to restart. Then play, pause, rewind on your schedule. Don't forget, SureStream TV from LocalTel lets you decide when shows begin.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Say balmy 7 degrees in downtown Wenatchee, 15, 16 or so for the afternoon high. Gets even colder as we go deeper into the week with overnight low Wednesday night into Thursday morning of minus 8 degrees. Factor in the wind chill, it'll be more like minus 25. And we're going to have some snow today, too, maybe a couple of inches here in the Wenatchee Valley. It's 9 minutes after the hour. A 2-car accident just east of Rock Island yesterday morning sent 3 people to the hospital and possible charges of vehicular assault. Trooper Jeremy Weber of the Washington State Patrol reports at 11:36 in the morning, a 1999 Ford Ranger pickup being driven by 22-year-old Gaspar Torzlino was traveling westbound on Highway 28 at the bottom of the Rock Island grade when his truck crossed the center line and struck a 2013 four-door Toyota head-on. Torzlino and both occupants of the Toyota, 38-year-old James Anderson and 33-year-old Jennifer Anderson, both from Medical Lake. They were transported to Central Washington Hospital with what authorities describe as serious injuries. Weber said that Torzlino may have been impaired and that possible charges are forthcoming. Longtime Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett will officially retire from the department at the end of the year. Burnett, of course, lost his bid for re-election after 12 years in the post. He had the option to return to his commissioned deputy's rank once Sheriff-elect Mike Morrison officially takes office, but instead the 55-year-old sheriff gave notice to the county that he would in fact leave the department on December 31st. The Chelan County Board of Commissioners voted on Monday to approve Burnett's removal from the county payroll. His successor, Morrison, who's been a Chelan County deputy for the last 8 years, will be sworn into office at a ceremony on December 29th. A man who allegedly stole some tools from a shed in the Moses Lake area was arrested on Sunday night by Ephrata police. Interesting story here. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said 24-year-old Angel Lara was first encountered late Friday night near Morgan Road Northeast and Young Road Northeast outside of Moses Lake when deputies responded to a suspicious person call. Well, the Sheriff's Office said Lara was carrying 2 Milwaukee brand tool bags, but there was no cause to detain him. But the same deputy later noticed a tool shed with the door open, and the owner confirmed that 2 Milwaukee tool bags, an impact driver, and a cordless drill were missing. The deputy also took a photo of a boot print in the snow outside the shed, and notice was sent out to be on the lookout for Lara. Well, after a minor incident at the Walmart in Ephrata at about 9 o'clock on Sunday, an Ephrata police officer pulled over a vehicle with Lara inside. The officer reported finding the tool bags and tools inside the vehicle. Lara was arrested on second-degree burglary. The sheriff's office said he was wearing boots with prints that matched those photographed outside the tool shed. Staying out in the Columbia Basin, the Grant County Sheriff's Office said a pursuit early Monday morning west of Beverly began when a deputy's vehicle was narrowly avoided getting hit head-on. It ended up with the suspect's arm in the mouth of K9 Chewbacca. The Sheriff's Office said at about 1:30 in the morning on Monday, a vehicle being driven by 23-year-old Gerardo Romero of Mattawa swerved into oncoming traffic on Road T.5 and forced a deputy to go off the roadway to avoid a head-on collision. The deputy reportedly then followed the suspect to Highway 243. That's where Romero refused to pull over, and the pursuit ended. The Sheriff's Office said the vehicle spun out in the area of Road 24 Southwest, and Romero fled on foot. Chewbacca brought in to track the suspect and reportedly found him hiding behind some bushes. The K9 bit Romero in the arm and held him until deputies arrived. After being treated for the dog bite, Romero was taken to the Grant County Jail on charges of eluding and possession of a stolen vehicle. The vehicle reportedly stolen out of the Tri-Cities. Based on statistics from the federal government, inflation has hit Wenatchee harder than all other cities in the country over the last 10 years. It was an analysis of data released by the Bureau of Economic Analysis, and Bloomberg News determined that from 2010 to 2021, the cost of living increased the most in Wenatchee, followed by the Villages, that's in Florida, that's a retirement community and a big one at that. Bloomberg said both cities jumped more than 150 places on the list of costliest places to live. Overall, the most expensive place to live in the country is still San Francisco. Seattle ranks 5th on the list. Bloomberg said in 2010, Wenatchee's cost of living ranked in about the middle of 389 metro areas in the country, but last year it jumped to 36th. In its headline, Bloomberg said, quote, "An underappreciated inflation loser is Wenatchee, Washington," end quote. Chelan County Commissioners yesterday passed their budget. They're looking at about $61 million in general fund spending for next year. County Administrator Kathy Mulhall said if the budget pencils out as planned, the year should end with about $9.7 million left over. Commissioners had to use about $5 million in reserve funds to balance the county's financials. The county said the shortfall resulted in part from growing inflation and the end of federal pandemic relief. And up until this year, Douglas County wasn't big enough to justify having a full-time elected coroner. But the law is the law, and once they got to 40,000 people, after the most recent census, Douglas County had to establish an elected coroner's office. And his name is Tanner Bateman. He's a Wenatchee Valley native who worked as a deputy coroner in the prosecutor's office. He ran unopposed, won the office in November, and our very own Jefferson Robbins sat down with Tanner Bateman to learn about him.
So within the county, the coroner investigates every unexpected, unattended, and suspicious death within the county. And so what will happen is, for instance, let's say there's a welfare check, sheriff's office or police department respond, find somebody deceased, they'll call us. We'll show up, kind of investigate the scene alongside the sheriff's office, look for any wounds, any medical issues that we can see, or just kind of piece together the scene at what might have happened. And then after the scene, the decedent will go to the funeral home, and then we'll go down and do another external exam at the funeral home to be more thorough, make sure we didn't miss anything. And then it's a lot of paperwork. We come back, request medical records, talk to primary care physicians, talk to specialty physicians to kind of paint the whole picture of the person's medical history, because we only know them from the scene, whereas their primary care physician or doctor knows them very well throughout their entire life going to see that doctor. So then we work with them to try to determine the best cause of death that will go on the death certificate and manner of death. So, and that's for natural causes, of course. And then you get ones where it is suspicious or suspected homicide, and those are a lot more in depth. Have detectives come out from the respective agencies and investigate the scene itself, where the decedent is the coroner's jurisdiction, just the body and the physical evidence on the body.
Was there something in your background that made you feel like you would be a good fit for this job? Was there something that moved you toward coroner's work or forensic work or death investigation?
Even from a young age, I wanted to be a coroner, and it sounds odd, but I had a lot of family who were law enforcement within King County, Snohomish County. They were detectives. Some of them worked on the Green River killer case. And so they would kind of share tidbits of information when we'd have Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so I just became kind of fascinated with it. And I always loved biology. And it's kind of the best of both worlds. You get to see the medical side of things and the investigative side of things. So you get to kind of play detective, and I don't want to say doctor, but you get to kind of review the medical records and kind of piece things together from a medical standpoint as to what might have happened when the person passed.
Jefferson's complete conversation, by the way, with that gentleman will air on tomorrow's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And that's the news at 17 minutes after the hour. It was a busy day yesterday, going to be a busy day today. A lot of people will be talking about the weather, but Grant Olson, not only does he talk about the weather, he really talks about the weather. And with a preview of the Tuesday night news, here's Grant.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, our unseasonably cold weather continues today with snow in the forecast as well. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has a look at what's coming up in local high school, college, and professional sports action tonight. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. And if you have a news tip, we'd love to hear from you. Look at the bottom of your screen. That's how you get a hold of us. If you have access to the internet, it's pretty straightforward. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call. You can go to our website, ncwlife.com. You'll see the contact us icon there. Or you can go to our Facebook page and drop us a note on the Messenger app. When we come back, sports. Good night for the Gonzaga ladies. Good night for the Cougar ladies. And highlights of both. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The 6th annual NCW Community Toy Drive presented by Les Schwab is underway.
Head to lstoydrive.org to find one of our many donation locations.
Just bring a new unwrapped toy and we'll make sure it gets to a needy child at Christmas.
We've teamed with many incredible organizations who help kids and families in North Central Washington.
If not a toy, a donation of money goes a long way too.
You can donate online at lstoydrive.org or use the Q code on your screen.
Thanks for your support of the NCW Community Toy Drive.
Presented by Les Schwab.
Getting ready for the boating season is easy with the help of Bob File Boats and Motors. Now's the time of year to upgrade your boat from a new motor, a bow mount, installing a state-of-the-art GPS fish finder, or just fixing your trailer lights. Make your appointment today. With marine technology changing fast, the service department stays up to date with the newest developments and factory certifications. Spend more time on the water and less time at the shore. Get ready for summer fun now at Bob File Boats and Motors.
20 minutes after the hour, Gonzaga won at home. The Cougars won on the road. Good news for both as far as the Bulldogs are concerned. They got 13 points apiece From Ivana Ejim and Brandon Maxwell, they beat San Diego 70-59. Highlights courtesy of Gonzaga Athletics. Bulldog coach Lisa Fortier credits San Diego for their tough defense, and that required Gonzaga to keep their composure.
I mean, they're a great defensive program. I would say, I think from year to year, team to team, they might turn you over more or just get regular stops or just get rebounds. But program-wide, as long as Cindy's been there, she does a really good job coaching the defense. And, they've got great athletes on their team, and they body it. Their motto is clearly to be physical, and I think that's with us and everybody else. And I thought that there were some things that could have gone our way that didn't. There were certainly some stretches where our team, we were right there on the bubble, coach and players, of losing some composure. Luckily, there was a couple timeouts that was able to settle us down, and we fought through that because it was not easy. The stuff around the basket, we shoot the ball a lot better than we shot it from 3 and from 2. Today, generally, our numbers are a lot higher than that, and they make you work because they guard.
As far as the Washington State women are concerned, a tough road win over Texas A&M Corpus Christi last night, 75-49. The final, Charlize Ledger-Walker and Tara Wallach each had 20 points to pace the Cougars.
Rebound ripped down, though, by Matuga. Back over to Charlize. Reloading. Got it. Fourth 3 of the first half for Charlize Ledger-Walker. Wallach back outside to Motuga. Motuga finds a cutting Tara Wallach. Great pass, Ula Motuga. And now Tara Wallach has got a server into the corner to Gardner. 3-ball on the way, too strong. Wallach with an offensive rebound. And a reverse layup at the horn. Gardner brings it up court, passes to Motuga at the top. Hits a cutting Charlize Ledger-Walker. Back out to the corner for Gardner for 3. Got it! Kira Gardner with the 3, and it looks like we're going to have a foul after the fact. Inbounds pass to Tahina, and now it's over. Cougars improved to 9-2 on the season, while the Islanders dropped to 5-6. Cougars come away with a 75-49 victory.
Wazoo coach Cammie Etheridge said the Cougars got going after a pretty slow start.
Yeah, well-rounded team effort. I didn't love our first half. I thought we were a little bit soft in the post and in the paint in general. Really, again, loved our team's response coming out of halftime. I thought Ula and Tara, obviously Charlize had a great game, but having 4 people in double figures is a great thing for us, with a couple other kids sniffing 10. So you got to be happy with it. A road win is big, no matter who you're playing and where it is. So good response for us.
Women's college basketball schedule today. The Lady Huskies will take on SIU Edwardsville at noon. Utah State will visit Eastern at 1. On the men's college basketball schedule, Eastern Washington will host Northwest Indian today at 3:30. And later on tonight, it's 11th ranked Gonzaga hosting Montana. Good luck, Grizz. It might be the holiday break for area high schools, but that means tournament time for a lot of teams. The Giza Winter Shootout got underway yesterday at Eastmont and Wenatchee High Schools. The Wildcats came out on top of Prairie in the first round, 84-66, and Meade beat Wenatchee in the Battle of the Panthers, 61-48. Another action on Monday, Pateras beat Thorpe Easton, and Liberty Bell topped Granite Falls. Busy boys schedule today. Liberty Bell at Bush at 12:30. Tonight at 7, you got Ephrata at Royal. Chelan hosts Kashmir at 7:15. At 7:30, you have Omak at Okanagan. Eastmont hosts Meade. Waterville Mansfield plays at Manson. Brewster is at Reardon, and Bridgeport visits Moses Lake Christian. Girls basketball on Monday. Kennewick beat Moses Lake 64-36. Eastmont topped Curtis to advance in the Geisa Winter Shootout 56-45. Wenatchee lost to Post Falls 65-15. So the schedule, Wenatchee will host Curtis in the consolation bracket. That's today at noon. Other games have a Fredad Royal at 5:30. Chelan takes on Cashmere at 5:45. 6 o'clock, you got Post Falls at Eastmont in the semifinals of the Geisa Winter Shootout. Manson will host Waterville Mansfield. Brewster visits Reardon. Bridgeport is at Moses Lake Christian. Moses Lake will take on East Lake at 6:15. Seattle Kraken back at the ice at Climate Pledge Arena tonight. St. Louis Blues in town at 7 o'clock. St. Louis 16-15-1. The Kraken are third in the Pacific Division, 17-10-3. Coach Dave Haxtell says he's happy his team is in the Stanley Cup playoff hunt, but there is a lot of hockey to be played.
Well, you have to continue to grow throughout a year. We're in a spot that we've worked hard to gain the opportunity to be in right now. But reality is 30 games in. Now you have to continue pushing, and the strength of the group will be tested as you go through the next 52 games. But I think that's something that you relish that opportunity, right? Our guys have worked very hard. As a whole, they've worked hard to become a good team. I think right from day one, the camaraderie and working hard in the dressing room to make sure that we're a tight-knit group is important. Now it's okay. We're 30 games in. Now we have to keep building and keep pushing. But there's a lot of race left to be run.
Kraken and Blues, 7 o'clock tonight. You can watch it on Root Sports Northwest. And finally, Week 15 of the NFL season wrapped up last night, Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers, I'm told he's pretty good. He threw a touchdown pass. A.J. Dillon rushed for a couple of others. Green Bay toppled the L.A. Rams 24-12. L.A. drops to 4-10 on the year. And I don't think they're going to defend their Super Bowl crown. Just a guess there. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 27 minutes after the hour, the Obscura holiday, to me, is a summertime staple. Why December 20th is National Sangria Day, I don't know. But it is. And sangria, although Spanish in origin, it's Spanish for, I think it means something like blood. It wasn't introduced to this country until the 1964 New York World's Fair, sangria. Red wine or white wine, doesn't matter which one. You combine it with some kind of fruit juice. A lot of sangrias have chunks of fruit in it. And, of course, a little additional alcohol. It starts out with wine. You don't really need to add anything else to a sangria, but many people do. And the nice thing about sangria, because it's a wine-based drink, the variations are almost endless. I mean, basically it's wine and fruit and something else. Happy National Sangria Day. None for me, though. I'm working. Maybe later. 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history, Abe Lincoln is elected in November of 1860. It was just a matter of time. Abe Lincoln's election in South Carolina didn't go over particularly well. Somebody had to be first, and South Carolina said, we'll do it. December 20th, 1860, 162 years ago today, South Carolina started the dominoes. It became the first state to secede from the Union. Others would follow, and eventually, in April of 1861, all hell broke loose. The disunion crisis began. South Carolina says, we're out. Others would follow, December 20th, 1860. This is the 70th anniversary of Operation Sleigh Ride. Those people out in the Columbia Basin who were still around who can remember the events of December 20th, 1952. Operation Sleigh Ride was a United States Air Force operation to get as many Korean War soldiers home for the holidays as possible. And the C-124 lifted off at about 6:30 on the evening of December 20th, 1952 at Larson Air Force Base in Moses Lake. It's now the Grant County International Airport. Never quite made it off the ground. One of the wings clipped, it turned over, somersaulted. It was full of fuel. It was on its way to San Antonio. The plane exploded. There were 105 passengers on board, passengers and crew total. 82 people died. At the time, It was the deadliest airline accident in this country's history. It has since been surpassed many times. It remains, to this day, the deadliest airplane accident in this state's history, and it happened in Moses Lake, Washington, 70 years ago today. On a much brighter aviation note, 65 years ago today, the 707 had its maiden flight to be FAA certified. And it was, and who's kidding who, the 707 was the game changer. It was the very first airplane. They had the center aisle, and then 3 seats on one side and 3 seats on the other, which is pretty much the way all planes have been. If you have flown at all in an airplane between the 1960s and the early 1990s, the odds are pretty good. You flew at least one time on a 707. They manufactured nearly 1,000 of them for both commercial and aviation usages. It started the whole 7 series of airplanes from Boeing. It basically ushered in the jet age, and the 707, the plane that would change aviation history, had its very first flight in Renton on this date 65 years ago today. Basically, it began the jet age. And here come the Seattle Supersonics. December 20th, 1966, 2 Los Angeles area businessmen, Sam Shulman and Eugene Klein, with some minority investors, of course, because there always is awarded an expansion franchise in the National Basketball Association to begin play in the autumn of 1967. Professional sports comes at the major league level to the Pacific Northwest finally on this date in 1966. It's 31 minutes after the hour. Speaking of sports, 2 legends in the world of sports celebrate their heavenly birthdays today. Branch Rickey, who alongside Ed Barrow, who was the general manager of the New York Yankees, those 2 are the titans of baseball front office. Branch Rickey, who started out as a baseball manager, but eventually, of course, as a general manager of the Dodgers, signed Jackie Robinson to break the color barrier in Major League Baseball. Branch Rickey invented the farm system when he was a general manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. He invented the batting helmet. He encouraged Major League Baseball to expand in the early 1960s, and all in all, his legend is secure. Branch Rickey, born in the state in 1881, and the only man ever to win an Olympic gold medal and a Super Bowl ring, Bullet Bob Hayes. Born in the state in 1942, we lost Bob a number of years, 20 years ago, at the age of 59. He was the fastest man in the world. He didn't play football. He went to Florida A&M. They didn't even have a football program. But after he won the gold medal at the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, the Dallas Cowboys drafted him in the 11th round. They figured, we'll teach him how to catch. But he's the fastest guy on earth. Nobody's going to catch him, right? And Bob Hayes changed the NFL by being so fast that the NFL defensive coordinators had to figure out zone defenses and bump and run coverage and things like that. Wasn't around before Bob Hayes started playing professional football. Born in the state in 1942, 80 years ago today. Going to take a break. Got an opinion from my Mad Dog McNaughton. In case you missed it, a very important interview with a very important person. Moved here to the Wenatchee Valley last summer from Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. She is the executive director of the Chelan Douglas Land Trust, took over from the retired Kurt Soper. Her name is Eunice Yeomans, and you'll get to meet her next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Are you frustrated because you feel like you aren't getting the internet speeds you pay for? One of the most common ways to test your internet connection is called a speed test. These are free and easily located on the internet and can tell you how fast your internet is. However, for certain reasons, these tests may not always be accurate. A speed test shows you how fast a file can be downloaded to the computer you're running the test on. However, there are many things that can affect the speed of that download besides the speed of the internet going into your home. A few of the things that can affect your internet speed are poor Wi-Fi signal, other wireless signals interfering with the wireless signals coming from your router, other devices in your home draining your bandwidth, your computer or phone running apps programs in the background that you aren't aware of, slowing your entire device. Any of these things can slow down your internet. Your internet is like water flowing down a pipe. There's a big pipe bringing internet to your local area, and a smaller pipe coming off of that bringing internet to your home address. Your router is just another pipe that brings the internet inside your house, and every device inside your home is like a pipe connected to the router. Just like with water, if any of those pipes along the way are too small for the amount of internet that needs to flow through for a family, the flow for everything down the line will be much slower. It's a lot like trying to push all the water going into your house through a small straw. Also, again, just like with water, if everyone in your home is using the internet at once, any individual device may not be able to receive the full flow of the internet. It's like your whole family trying to drink out of that small straw all at once. If you're struggling with internet that is slower than expected, make sure that all of the devices that your internet flows through are working correctly, and check all devices in your home for background programs that may be using the internet. If everything still appears to be working correctly, contact us and we'll be able to help.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa wants you to shop at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. They have a huge variety of fun Christmas items in their Christmas cottage. There's so much to choose from, and it changes day to day. Santas and snowmen, holiday dishes and decor, village pieces and ornaments. To add to your collection or start something new, you can't beat the prices. What's old is new again for you in the Christmas cottage at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because then it came back. Both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, when you're really passionate about something, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth. They're always so shocked. Like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
Mondays are happy hour all day long at Bob's Burgers and Brew in East Wenatchee. Great deals on appetizers, martinis, specialty drinks, wine, well drinks, and draft beers. Bob's Burgers and Brew in East Wenatchee. Come on in. They look forward to serving you.
Bob's Burgers and Brews in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy great food, great service, and a great time. Only the best for our guests. We look forward to serving you. Stop on by today.
While it may be hard to resist those big brown eyes and pleading face, many people aren't aware that people food can be dangerous to pets. And it's not just because of the added weight gain. Some foods are downright dangerous, including chocolate. For a detailed list of dangerous foods, go online to pawsandclawsvh.com. If you suspect your pet has eaten something dangerous, please call Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff at 888-PAWS, as your pet's health is important to us.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I recently saw an ad for an investment opportunity on Facebook. And I've heard other advertisements to invest my money on the radio and other such places. And my question is this. If this particular investment opportunity is so great, why is somebody who wants me and every other jamoke out there to give them their money, why are they doing it on Facebook or on the radio? I mean, good grief. I mean, if the return on investment opportunity is so great, why do they have to go to the public with it? You know, if I knew of a sure way to invest and rake in the dough, I'd be tempted to keep it myself or share it with people who are close to me, not cut an ad on KPQ. Good God. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Businesses and individuals have trusted the experienced professionals at Financial Alternatives for their retirement and investment needs for 40 years. They offer a broad range of investments, annuities, and insurance solutions for people and businesses throughout Washington. Financial Alternatives will assist you in making informed decisions for your future. Call Financial Alternatives today and meet with their advisors.
Working with August Edge Real Estate, both sellers and buyers feel confident knowing they are in the hands of award-winning professionals. August Edge offers a 2% listing commission, which includes above-standard service and technology.
We offer high-tech 3D imagery, drone photos, local North Central Washington TV ads, and impressive smart flyer installed at your listing. The August Edge website also hosts your home with an interactive featured listing page.
August Edge is professional, personable, and preferable.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside, knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere. So when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now, or visit localtel.net to learn more.
With all the variety on SureStream TV from LocalTel, there's always something to watch. But what if you hit the couch in the middle of all the shows? That's a perfect time to use the features Catch Up or Restart. Catch up on shows from up to 3 days ago, or restart your show from the beginning. Go to your guide and select the show to restart. Then play, pause, rewind on your schedule. Don't forget, SureStream TV from LocalTel lets you decide when shows begin.
Bear Foods is the small town store with the big time inventory. Join the growing movement to better nutrition with everything you need to improve your well-being. Bear Foods is more than a health food store. It's your good food store in downtown Chelan.
This Christmas, shipping and receiving is more important than ever. Jerry and Sherry are here to help. Mailboxes Chelan provides everything you need to get that special gift delivered for the holidays. Given this year's challenges, you must ship early. Visit Mailboxes Chelan today.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
50 years ago, a group of visionaries saw a need to provide high-quality health care to every member of our community,
regardless of age or income.
Today, Columbia Valley Community Health has grown to provide medical,
dental,
and behavioral health care through a network of facilities
and a mobile clinic that serves patients in remote locations.
For 50 years, we have been offering quality care to all,
and we will continue to do so
for 50 more.
We are CVCH,
and we are here with you.
When I was about 16, I got in
a relationship. He hit me for the first time in front of his daughter. He physically abused me in front of my children. I couldn't do it no more. Sage was there for me when I needed them. I didn't hear a lecture from them. I didn't hear anything, but just acceptance. And that's what I needed at the time. And they help you with everything that you need to move on in life and heal.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
I believe we've been coming to Abby's for 56 years, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
56 years.
Remembering all the events as a family and a community that we spent at Abby's.
Excellent and delicious food at an affordable price. We're delighted that we live close enough to be able to be a frequent customer.
And we are.
And we are. In fact, we've got orders to bring home a giant pizza when we leave here tonight.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients, handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family.
I'm Eunice Yeomans. I'm the Executive Director of the Chelan Douglas Land Trust. So my path is really different than my predecessors. So I actually came through a climate change think tank where I worked with scientists who were doing primary research all over the world and making recommendations on a global and domestic level about how to manage different competing priorities for land. So we need to have space for agriculture, we need to have space for housing, for livelihoods, for conservation, and all that kind of thing. And so I was doing that, and a land trust in Massachusetts approached me to take on the portfolio on Martha's Vineyard in Nantucket. And they were interested in me because they wanted me to sort of take all of these big scientific recommendations on a global scale and apply them on this little island. So I had all of these competing priorities, right? I had a farm, I had a camp, I had 37 miles of recreational beach property, I had trails, I had a museum, I had all kinds of stuff. So just balancing all those things out. So in about the 80s, I think Islanders, or late 70s, the Islanders realized that most of our shoreline was privately owned. So I think 85% of the shoreline is privately owned. So it created a movement to say we need to protect this land so that we all have access to it, not just the few elites that are here a fraction of the year. So as time evolved, we began looking at how to protect for recreational access, then it was how to protect for conservation, so different species management and that kind of thing. And then it expanded out to include farmland, because actually the island is known for farms. It's kind of our sort of agrarian history is part of our charm, and certainly the allure, part of the allure. And so kind of thinking about how we were going to conserve farmland and doing that at scale. And then, over the course of the last 5 years, the latest pressure is affordable housing, right? We have this, this amazing island, lots of tourists come to visit, but we don't have places for regular people to live. And so trying to address those issues. And I would say all those things are very much at play here. As a conservationist, I'm not anti-development. We have to have a place for people. If we're not taking care of people, we can't take care of anything else. So the way we did it on the island is very similar to here, is that we are a small community. This is a small community. Everyone's coming together to talk about all of these challenges and looking at how we can work with each other to find space for all these things. I did not grow up camping and hiking or anything like that. It was not part of my childhood. It was hotels and, going to the beach, and that was pretty much the extent of it. And when I had children, I have 3 children, I stayed at home with them for almost 5 years. And during that time, we were living on one income. We had no money. And so I started really kind of doing all kinds of outdoor things that I hadn't done before, just because, I was limited in what we could do. And I realized how much I loved it and how much joy it brought me and how much meaning it brought into my life to share, all of these outdoor experiences with my children. And so that's, it's a kind of a religion, I guess, kind of the experience of being in nature and being a part of it. I think that the two things are very much connected. So I've been to most of our sort of recreational access properties. I'd say my favorite so far is Spiva Butte, which is in Douglas County. I think we have 30-something acres out there, and it's just wild, empty, rolling shrubland, and it's just gorgeous. I think as a new AD coming in, you don't ever want to do anything new right off the bat. You want to take your time and learn and understand things. So I'd say that that's my primary focus, is sort of really kind of understanding the work that we do and the opportunities here. So we're kind of moving into a planning process in January to really identify key strategic goals that will inform our conservation priorities, inform the work ahead. So I'd say for now, nothing big or new on the horizon, but lots of internal thinking and looking at our systems. So one thing, my predecessor grew this organization exponentially. I'm inheriting a much more complicated organization in terms of the complexity of the land portfolio that we manage, as well as the financial, all the different financial mechanisms that we use to do our work. So I think my first job is to really make sure that we have the architecture set up for the next phase of growth. So we want everybody to be out on our properties, right? So I think that's one of the challenges that we're facing, is how to be more welcoming to everyone in our community. So we want you. Whoever you are, we want you. We want you to be on our land and enjoying it along with us. So we have events all the time to volunteer, and moving into next year, we're going to have a pretty robust outreach strategy designed to, educate people about different things or provide opportunities to experience our land in different ways. And I say our land, and I mean our land. This land has been conserved because of the people of this community, right? So it's everybody's land.
Color Effects has moved their shop to a larger location to expand their services, including adding in a state-of-the-art large format printer. They got it. You need banners? They got them. You need vinyl decals for your cars, trucks, vans, or trailers in just about any size? Yeah, they got it. Color Effects has also been providing fun swag and clothing for local churches and high schools around our valley for decades. Support your local print shop. Call Color FX in Cashmere today. Give the fabulous flavor of classic European-style chocolates from Chocolat in Leavenworth. Each chocolate is handcrafted with quality ingredients in exquisite designs. A gift from Chocolat will delight anyone on your holiday shopping list.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCW Life channel.
Brett Young, 5 Tour 321. Friday, May 12th at Town Toyota Center in Wenatchee with special guests Morgan Evans and Ashley Cook. Tickets on sale now at the box office, by phone, or towntoyotacenter.com.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a little bit on this beautiful autumn morning. One friendly reminder, it's still autumn. The winter solstice is tomorrow during the noon hour, but this is actually the shortest day of the year. Tomorrow is going to be about 30 seconds more daylight than we saw today. Everything is relative. Of course, the big story is the cold and the snow. It is snowing lightly here in the Wenatchee Valley. We could get upwards to a couple of inches of snow. Here today, it's the light, fluffy kind. I noticed it doesn't have a lot of water content to it, and try to make a little bit of a snowball this morning. I was failed in that endeavor. It is 7 degrees outside of our studios. That's where we've been when this show started. Now, 24 hours ago on Monday at this time, it was 3 degrees, so it's a little bit warmer. But again, it's all relative, and we still have Arctic air that is seeping down from British Columbia, and it's a huge swath of this cold air. It's dipping all the way down into the south, the deep south, Texas and Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri. So readings, wind chill factors will be like minus 60 in western Montana. Cold. And we, early Thursday morning, could see the coldest day that we have seen here in the Wenatchee Valley in 14 years. All of those details are coming up. Real quickly on the passes, I want to let you know it's just a mess up there. Right now on Stevens Pass, it is snowing hard, it's blowing hard, and chains are required on US 2 Stevens Pass. Traction tires are required on Blewett Pass. It's snowing there, not as bad as Stevens, but it's still snowing, and it is snowing hard on I-90 Snoqualmie Pass, and they have a chain requirement as well, and they are going to expect a lot of snow, especially on Stevens, perhaps even 20 inches of snow throughout the course of the day today, and it's not going to let up. And we have a winter weather advisory right here in the Wenatchee Valley. A couple of slides I wanted to show for you, just to keep you in the loop about what's going on. First of all, your forecast for snowfall today into Wednesday morning. It's not going to be a consistent snowfall. It's going to snow a little bit, and it's going to stop, and it's going to snow a little bit, and then stop. So we could get a couple of inches anyway, maybe possibly up to 3 inches of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. Most of the snow is going to be relegated to the Cascades, but Leavenworth, as not surprisingly there, Leavenworth, Plain, Lake Wenatchee, you're going to get more snow than we are, but that's part and parcel. Peshastin, perhaps, could get about 4 inches of snow. But Stevens could get up to 2 feet of snow by this time Wednesday morning, and they're going to get a couple of feet perhaps on I-90, Snoqualmie Pass, and Blue Pass is going to get about a foot of snow. And it ain't going anywhere because it is going to get downright bitter cold as more Arctic air seeps down and pays us a visit. Look at the wind chills Thursday morning when you get up and get going for the first full day of winter on Thursday. It is going to feel like it. Wind chill factors in Wenatchee about minus 24, right around there in Chelan, Moses Lake minus 29. Wind chill in Omak minus 34. Again, you're combining the bitterly cold temperatures and the breezy conditions. Now, it's not going to be too windy here in the Wenatchee Valley, but the farther north you go where those gradients are going to tighten up, man, that is about as cold as it can get. And as I mentioned before, as we're going to go to the forecast from the National Weather Service and our friends at Apple Valley Honda, with the forecast overnight low Wednesday night into Thursday of minus 8. I did the research this morning. The last time we got that cold, we got to minus 7 degrees on December 20th, 2008. So it's been 14 years since we've had a temperature reading in the Wenatchee Valley of minus 7 or minus 8, and that is in the wheelhouse. That is the possibility. So in detail, off and on, hit and miss snow throughout the course of the day today. It'll be tapering off by the time the sun goes down, about 4:12 tonight, and we'll get up to 16 degrees. We got to 14 on Monday. 3 for the overnight low. More Arctic air seeps down. Wednesday, because we're not going to have any sunshine, going to be colder with a high of only 10. And again, look at the overnight low Wednesday night into Thursday, minus 8 degrees, and it's going to be bitterly cold, just bone-chilling cold on Thursday with a high of only 5 degrees and an overnight low of 2. We warm up a little bit on Friday. Saturday night for Christmas Eve proper for Santa and the crew and the reindeer. It's not looking too bad. Could even get a little bit of light snow on Saturday night just in time for the holiday. And then look what happens on Sunday and Monday. We're going to warm up to 40 by Monday. Boy, you talk about your weather roller coaster, but right now the roller coaster is heading down. And that's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.